Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you try, you just keep falling into the same patterns? Maybe you've said to yourself, I was shut down in conflict, or I just can't focus like I used to. Maybe it's things like, I'll always be a night owl. I know what I want to change, but I just can't get myself to do it. We call those feelings being stuck. And it's one of the most frustrating human experiences. But I have good news. You're not stuck because you're broken. You're stuck because your brain has rehearsed a pattern, practiced it over and over. Your reactions, your habits, even your self-talk, they've been rehearsed over and over and over. And your brain has carved them into its automatic systems, its autonomic nervous system. And that's what we're going to talk about today. The reason why growth isn't just possible, but it's built into your biology and that it's available to you. It's called neuroplasticity. And once you understand it, you'll never see yourself the same way. So, let's talk about what neuroplasticity really is. It's the brain's ability to change itself structurally and functionally based on what you do, what you think, what you feel, what you experience. And this isn't just positive thinking, it's hard science. And we see it most clearly after trauma or a diagnosis. So imagine someone has had a stroke and loses function in their left hand. A decade ago, doctors would have said they've got anywhere from 6 months, maybe 2 years. And whatever after that point is permanent, wherever they're left at. But we know now with the right stimulation, the brain can reorganize. It can take over other areas and allow function. And new connections can form. Even damaged pathways can be rebuilt or rerouted. That's neuroplasticity. It's how people with Parkinson's can improve their mobility. It's how people with brain injuries can regain speech and coordination. It's those with multiple sclerosis or chronic pain that can retrain their nervous system to restore function and reduce suffering. And here's what's even more exciting, that the same principle applies to everyday change. Whether you're recovering from a diagnosis or you're just trying to be more present with your kids, it's the same system. The brain doesn't decide who gets to who deserves to grow. It doesn't choose which parts of your brain it's going to start to grow on today. It simply responds to what you repeat. So, diving deeper, how does the brain actually change? Well, we can look at it in two layers. There's stimulating the change and then how the brain responds. So, first, on how we stimulate the change. There are three things that drive brain growth. One, repetition. Doing something again and again will strengthen the neural pathway. So, thinking about a stone that's sitting in a cave and there's a drip of water coming down, and that drip, drip over time starts to wear a groove, and it can even make a hole through that. That consistency of change is building a new pathway. That can be a skill, a behavior, a thought, a practice. Practice makes pathways. All right. So not practice makes progress, but practice makes pathways. Number two is emotion and intensity. So emotion is like a highlighter for the brain. When something feels important or powerful, the brain will remember it faster. That's why traumatic memories stick. But it's also why love, joy, purpose can rewire you too. Number three is novelty or challenge. So new experiences trigger alertness and learning, right? We're super hyper aware, we're taking it all in. our autonomic nervous system hasn't kicked in for that experience yet, so it's taking it all in. And then your brain also loves a good puzzle, something that requires effort, creativity, or courage. Hence, some emotions going on there as well. Now, there's that layer of what's happening, how the brain responds. So, three things need to be present in order for the brain to respond. So, one is your brain's going to grow new connections. And that word for that is new synapses. And dendrites are like these little tentacles, and they make those new connections. Two is functional change. So the brain starts to reroute that traffic. Again, injury or new learning experiences can take over roles from damaged or underused portions of the brain. And then chemical change, this is the one I really, really want you to pay attention to, is your brain adjusts to its chemistry. So neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin, these are those feel-good chemicals that happen in the brain. So we get dopamine hits when we're scrolling and we see something great. We get serotonin and dopamine from certain like foods that make us feel good and give us a little brain rush, a little happiness. And we can get those with learning, with movement. We can get them with stress, and we can get them with joy. So it's so important for practices like exercise, mindfulness, therapeutic work to change the brain's chemistry, which means you're changing the brain's environment. So again, when I say you're not stuck, I mean it at every level, physical, functional, chemical. You're not stuck. The brain's job is to change, and it will change regardless. It's changing based on the input that you're giving it. So right now, all you need to do is put in the right input, the repetition, the emotion, the challenge, and then your brain will take it from there. So, if you've ever been told or thought, I'll never get back to where I was, or this is just how my brain works, that if you're ever thinking this is the struggle that I'm always going to be in, know that that message is outdated. That whether you're navigating a stroke, traumatic brain injury, Parkinson's, or multiple sclerosis, whether it's ADHD, dyslexia, autism, PTSD, maybe it's just brain fog or feeling burnt out or just feeling I'm getting older. Know that neuroplasticity means that your brain can still adapt, that change is inevitable. So, the next time someone says, can't teach an old dog new tricks, or maybe you even think it, remember this. Yes, you can. And the science is there to back it up.